The video today is on how to do an XERT overlay as well as other GPS overlay on top of your YouTube video or any other kind of video. And so this is going to be me explaining my process. This is not going to be a really fancy video where I studied it all in advance and made a lot of really great edits over time to really shrink this down and tell you how to do every single piece of it. Just because I don't have the time to do that. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to try to show you the best I can, and you're going to have to do the homework yourself. But I'm going to give you the pieces of the puzzle, and one reason why I'm not giving all the pieces of the puzzle on how to do this is because I can't remember exactly how I did it, because I did it something like 2 or 3 years ago. And I don't remember all the ways that I troubleshooted it. Is that a word? But you're going to have to do that on your own. But this should give you all the pieces of the puzzle that you need to do it yourself. So let's start off. This is an activity where I have some video. So I pulled this from June of 2020. And what we need to do first, so I'm looking at the XERT activity here, okay? And I go over here, I save as CSV. All right, save as, why isn't it working? Okay, gosh, you never know what's going on with these things, right? I'd like, maybe my account got fried or something. So, all right, so I need to find, I'm gonna find the exact place that I kept this. Where is it? Pop B, June 2020, I'll save the thing there. Okay, so I saved my CSV file. Let's open that up real quick. Let me open it up in Excel. You just take a quick look at it. So, to be honest, I don't look at this to actually do my overlay because I've already done the work beforehand where I've already set it up so that it reads the data in as per XERT enters the data, formats its data. So for example, one time Armando changed the way he formatted it, and I had to change the way that I read my data into the overlay. So this is just what it looks like. You know, this is the CSV file as it comes out, and you can see that it's got a number of headings there, and we have to map that onto our overlay software. So don't have to do this every time, but I'm just showing you what it looks like. Okay, so I've downloaded that CSV file. It's right here with my video stuff. I keep them together. And then we can turn to DashWare. So DashWare is the overlay video program I use. It's free. Now there's a caveat here that I'll start off with, which is what version of DashWare am I using? I am using version 1.7.37. This is not the current version. This version was given to me by a friend, and the reason I'm using this older version is because with the newer version I couldn't actually output the video files for some reason. It just didn't work on my computer. And he gave me, what is this? Change this? Okay. No, I don't want to do Windows 7 Basic. Okay, I'll just, sorry. I've had my computer shut down, and I'm sorry if the size of the video is off. I'm just using this really crappy monitor right now. I haven't used this computer in a long time, so everything's a little haywire right now. And I haven't made one of these videos in a long time, so I'm going to have to be educating myself. Anyway, you might have to look for this. I don't know if it's going to work on the newest version. You might have to look for this version of DashWare. I don't know. You'll have to figure that out yourself. Okay. So what do? I go to New Project. You can see here that I have a project template. That's important. We'll get back to that later. I won't get to that yet, but we'll get back to that later. So I have it as a template, and I'll just click OK. All right, and let's see. So I need to put in my data file. So let's choose my data file. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let me get out of this. XERT version 2. I'll browse for my data file here. And see if I can remember where we put it. Okay, let's see, Pop B, where are you? June, Pop B, there you are. Okay, here's our file. And you can see that I had originally set up as XERT version 2. Now, of course, XERT version 2 is my own custom data profile. It's not going to be in the download. We'll get to that later. So I've got my CSV file there. I've got XERT version 2. I'll hit add. Okay, very good. So now we need to enter a video. And again, this is a little bit tricky. So what I use is this empty video file, empty 1920 times 64. Okay. So this video file here, and let me open it up. Um, let me open it up and show you. Again, you have to be patient with this video because not everything will be spoon-fed. Let's see, here we go. Empty 1920 times 64. I'm going to show you the properties of this. And again, I don't know exactly how to make this file because I didn't make it. My friend gave it to me, and I should mention his name, Sam. I don't think he'll mind that. Sam Findlater, who's an expert in DashWare and taught me everything I know about DashWare. He gave me enough information to know how to do this, and for example, gave me this particular file. So you can see it's a 3-hour long file with a frame width of 1920 pixels, frame height of 64 pixels, 30 frames per second, and it's just this small strip. And why do we use a small strip? Well, the reason we do that is because it's much faster to output. If we output a full-size file, which we can if we want to, we can change this template up any way we want to, and I have used different templates, but I'm just showing you one template, the strip template that we use. It outputs really fast. Like I can do an hour strip in about 6 minutes or 7 minutes on my very slow computer. So if I were to do it with a full frame kind of full size video, it would take maybe an hour and a half. And so when you're stitching together a lot of videos, let's say we go into I'll pull it up now, Adobe Premiere's Elements, which is what I use to make videos. When you're adding several GoPro videos together, I can use this particular strip up here as one video that I include in my timeline. We'll get to that later. It saves a lot of time. It saves a ton of time for me to not have to put together an entire video, for example, and the fact that it outputs so quickly. So anyway, getting distracted. Get back to business here. So let's see. So I already have a product gauge here, and that was part of my my new project. And remember, I had a particular setup for there. So let's look at our gauges, our gauge toolbox. Okay, so there's a lot of like things that come here. Where is my gauge toolbox? Oops. Let me get back into DashWare here. Okay, let me get back to my project. So my gauge toolbox, project gauges, cycling numbers 1920. I'm forgetting how to change that. Let me go back and look. Okay. All right, sorry. Here we go. So these are the custom gauges that I made. And let me pull this one up. I think this is the right one. Let's see, let me look at my project again. It's cycling numbers 1920 XERT _2. Yep, this one. Okay, let's look at this one. So this is the way the gauge is set up. And again, I'm letting you see this because I can't remember exactly how I did it. It's been so long that you should be able to recreate the gauge by looking at this and setting it up. You can see the gauge inputs here. So speed, cadence, etc., all these things, and then what is actually shown here in the, sorry about this, okay. And so you can see what's up here in the actual outputted gauge. So there's a lot of customization that can occur with this. I could change the color of it. I could use imperial, or I can use metric, or I can use both. I can do whatever I want. You can see here that the key thing here is MPA. MPA is here, and it is a custom addition to this thing. So honestly, I can't even remember how I did all this. So you can see that that's just text, and this is dynamic text, i.e. values that are coming in from this here, the MPA, which is something I set up uh, as part of inputting that software, and we'll get to that. Well, might as well do that right now. Let's do that right now. So this is the gauge that I'm using. Let's see, how do I get out of this gauge? Okay, you can see, let's see, what others, I've done some other custom gauges somewhere. We won't bother with that right now, but like for example, this is a MPA gauge. Let's pull that one open. So you can see that in this gauge we have power, we have MPA, and as I recall correctly, the outside here is going to be MPA, and it's going to fill up with color. And I have a video, more than one I think, using this particular gauge. But if I want a different graphical display of MPA and power, I can make my own custom gauge. So you just have to fiddle around with it. And this is kind of the setup of this gauge. I've got 2 inputs, and then I have this. Basically, I edited a gauge that already existed, essentially. Okay, so let's go to what I would do next. So I have a gauge. I put in my data file, which is set up with this profile, XERT version 2, and I have this strip video. Okay, so I can go to my synchronization here. So let's say I'm only taking the video from this intersection where the red dot is. I can set it there. I can move this. Wait, I don't think I moved this. I think what I do is I just move this to where I want the video to start. So this is not as powerful as verb edit in terms of syncing the this video, the overlay video, with the actual footage. I have to do it approximately. Now I can zoom in, but you can see that there's no you don't have the same satellite view that you would have in verb edit to do this. So you might choose where you go here. So one thing that I might do, for example, let's say that I knew I stopped at this intersection. I might choose right before this intersection, or I might look at, see, I can look up here. I'm at 0 miles per hour, and so that tells me that I'm stopped when I have it set to this location on this thing here. And then I'll be able to sync it in my editing software here to make sure that the exact moment of like applying power, or actually in terms of starting speed, when the footage shows that my speed has gone from 0 to 0.1, and I get that first frame that where I'm actually moving, I'll sync it that way. So once I've set the starting location, I don't want, so if I just leave this here, I'm going to get a 3-hour video. A 3-hour video of this overlay, and I don't want to do that. I want to, because like let's say the ride was like an hour long, so I set that to 70 minutes, give myself a little overlap, and this is really important. Sync with video. I forget the order that you do it. Maybe you need to hit sync with video before I shorten it, or maybe the order doesn't matter. But if you forget to click this button, you will just get a static video with just one set of data for each thing. It won't actually be dynamic data. So make sure that you click that. Okay, so we're moving along here. And so I've picked the place where I want the data to start. So I'm not using the data from the very beginning. I'm using it from this location here. And I've shortened the video. All I need to do now is output the video. So create video. All right, and I'll choose my location. I'll choose the same one, same thing here. So I choose here, and then I just hit create video. And these are the settings. Again, this is reference. You can look and see what the settings are for this. Like video. So it starts to create my video. So remember, I was telling you that it takes about 6 or 7 minutes to do an hour's overlay for this video. If you compare that to verb edit, big 7 versus the voice, you don't even care. to say it's taking so much doing stuff. I'm here add media, for example, files and folders going to that particular ride. I'll be using a better computer. So let's do it a little faster here. Should just go here and make this important matter of much. Okay, this starts the video. Okay, so for example, it doesn't really matter. This is the GoPro video, and maybe if I have some rear footage, which I think I do actually. I'm not going to add it in for this, but actually I don't have any rear footage for this one. But anyway, if I had rear footage, I could add this in video too. And so where does the DashWare video go? Well, I'm just going to pull some DashWare video from a different video just to show you how I might do it. Let's see. Yeah, here's some DashWare. So let me pull that in. So I'll pull this in. So this is not the correct overlay, but this is just give you an example of how you put an overlay. All right. So now I have my overlay. You can see that there is a black line here. It's not perfectly cropped. So I can just select this. It's selected. Go into my, is it this? Sorry, it's been so long since I've done it. When you don't do this for like a year, you kind of lose your memory of like how to do this. Okay, where's crop? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, apply. No, why it's not coming up. Let me type it in, crop. All right, there it is. All right, crop. So I don't want the right, oops, I don't want the right side cropped. The top, maybe, yeah, I want to uncrop that. And then the bottom, I'll just do, adjust the blackout. Okay, good enough. So that's cropped. And I can just move this. Let me select. Yeah, I've got that selected. I can just move this to where I want it. Want it at the bottom? Put it at the bottom. Want it at the top? Put it at the top. Anyway. And of course, I'll need to sync that up. Now, I don't want to spend this video discussing how to sync overlays with the video. That could be a different video. This is just how to actually make the overlay. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's go back to DashWare because there's an important part that I haven't showed you. So you can see here, we're going to cancel this, but we would get an overlay just like this blue thing up here. And let me go back to this. So you can see here, like let me just move this ticker around. Let's see, 207 watts, 1296. I don't know what's, yeah, okay. Yeah, so 0 watts, 1220, so it's changing. I'm just showing you that the data is changing. Probably get too much lag. I won't be able to, anyway, yeah, it's too much lag to show with this particular computer. Anyway, let's go back to DashWare. So I'm hitting cancel here because we don't need to sit here and wait for this, but you would come up with you would have a video, an overlay video. So now I need to show you the data type, the data profile. No save. Okay. So we want to look at the data profile. Oops, don't want to go here. Edit data types, edit data profiles. Okay. All right. So you can see that there's a lot of data profiles. Well, the one you're going to have to make your own. And we're going to look at XERT version 2. Okay? Take a look at all this, because I don't remember how I did it. But this is what you do. You've got to, remember the CSV file? You've got to correlate the CSV file to this. And I think I used the CSV file. Is there a CSV something here? Or maybe it was the fit. Anyway, I can't remember which one I used. Let me take a quick look through here. Again, this is something I did a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly how I did it. I may have used the fit, but it's one of these reads a CSV, and I adapted that one. So I don't remember why I have this here, but I think this was important for the GPS and so forth. So looking at here, you can see that. Let me just pull up one of these, like MPA. Okay, map to data category generic. There's nothing. And let me pull up the open with Excel. So let's look at this again. So Unix time, power, MPA, etc. Let's open the data profile. Let me make this smaller. If I can. Was it not let me minimize? Okay. Okay. So, oops. Time, power, MPA. You can see that they're all in order. Time, power, MPA. Latitude, longitude, speed, cadence, heart rate, and so forth. I don't use them all. Anyway, like I said, to be honest, I don't remember exactly how I set this up, but this is what you need to do to set it up. You need to edit and create this. You can look at these settings up here as well. And so this is the data profile. This is obviously critical to being able to get DashWare to understand the CSV file. And I think that covers it. So like I said, this is not a plug and play. You're going to be able to do this in 5 minutes. You're going to have to get into DashWare. I've given you all the tricks, tips, and hints that allowed me to get this done. So now that you can get this done. And just get the CSV data, get your data profile correct, create the gauge that you want for yourself. I just gave you one example of a gauge, that this strip overlay, but you can do other kinds of overlays, and I have other videos where I use other kinds of overlays with MPA data. You can use any of the, theoretically, you can use any XERT data here. For example, the XSS, for example, you could include that in gauge. So I know there's going to be a lot of questions. Well, I may flatter myself. There may be questions about this, and I barely had time to make the video. I'm certainly not going to be able to have time to help everyone figure out how to do it on their own. But I hope this gives you enough hints that you can do this on your own. So I wish you the best. Good luck. And I'm doing this as a service to the XERT community so that we can have more videos out there with MPA data. It might be fun for people to see that. So here we go. Give it a try. Have fun. Thanks. If you appreciate the time that I put into this and the effort that I put into sharing this information to you, please consider subscribing to my channel, because I have the faraway dream that someday I might reach 1,000 subscribers and get paid 50 cents, per year by YouTube. So anyway, take care. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.